Okay, everybody, we have two very special, famous guests that were on Shark Tank. Millions of people have seen this product. I use their product. It works beautifully. We're going to talk about how they did it. Welcome, Brian and Kirk, to inventRight TV.
Hey, thanks so much, Stephen. It's good to be back on inventRight TV.
Thanks for having us. It's been life-changing inventRight for us.
Yeah,
well, it's been a long time. You guys started here and you've gone over here and things have exploded. We want to talk all about it. But you know, being on Shark Tank, you guys are famous. I mean, how many millions of people are watching that? Do you have the numbers on that when you guys went on there?
Yeah, they say that not exactly our episode, but 5 million people watch it. At the first episode, but then when you syndicate, then there's more people that watch it. So every time we air, we get a bump in sales.
Yeah. So CNBC, as you probably know, every night is like a Shark Tank marathon. You just turn on CNBC and it's episode after episode for 4 probably straight hours. And that's where we'll get a rerun thrown in there and you're getting more eyeballs on your product. And yeah, like Kirk said, you get a bump in sales. But the power of Shark Tank, it is incredible. Yeah, 5 million people that are 5 to 7 million people that watch on a Friday night. It's hard to kind of get. It's really hard to get that. That would be expensive to pay for that kind of advertising. Let's just say that.
Let's do this. Before we dive in, James, please roll the video of both of them on Shark Tank.
I can't believe we're standing in front of these doors right now.
Me neither.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Next in the tank is a tool to ensure you get a juicy bird every time.
Have you ever cooked a chicken that was so dry it was barely edible? Or served a turkey at Thanksgiving that was so parched your guests wanted to offer it a drink?
Well, that's why we created
the Turbo Trusser.
Just hook the Turbo Trusser right into place,
closing up the cavity and sealing all the juices to cook a perfect bird. Which one of you sharks wants to take a bite out of the poultry industry and make a cluckload of money?
That's good.
Okay, you would just pick the Turbo Trusser up, and set it in the butt there.
Okay, you set it in the butt.
Set it in the butt, and then lift
the butt
one
cavity.
leg up. Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Lift one leg up and put it in. Lift the other leg up.
It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
Good.
And then the other side, do the same.
What is the chicken community saying about this torture device?
They really like it. We've sold about 11,000 units and had 1 return.
I see. Okay.
So.
Wow.
Very nice. I'll give you the 100,000. I want 33%, but wait, there's more. I want $1 royalty in perpetuity for everyone we sell.
Wow.
What a greedy bastard.
Whoa, whoa.
Wow.
I see this as being something I can really get to town on, but I've got to make it worth my while. I have to wet my beak. I give you an offer, you have to make a decision.
$1 a unit royalty, man, that's rough. Take it. Let's take it.
You got a deal. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You got a deal.
Indeed.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Congrats, Kev.
Good job, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Do
you.
the
Let's
funky
have
chicken,
some fun.
Thank you
Kev.
so much.
Come on.
Appreciate you
Great
very much.
presentation.
Congrats, guys.
Shark Tank is the things dreams are made of. We appreciate it.
Hell
Thank you.
Thank you.
We couldn't walk away from a deal with Chef Wonderful. There is no opportunity greater than to have a shark on your team, royalty or not. We're gonna make a cluckload of money.
Let's talk a little bit about Shark Tank, just a little bit, but I want to go back to where you guys first started. But before we move off the Shark Tank, pretty nerve-wracking, the whole episode.
Really nerve-wracking. The whole process leading up to going out to California and filming was nerve-wracking. They asked for a lot of information. There's background checks. I mean, at that time you had to send in your COVID vaccine cards. I mean, it was right at the tail end of COVID. It was stressful. The preparation was stressful. Every week it was, they would tell you, this may be your last week in the process. We're continuing to narrow it down from, I forget how many people.
150 or 125 people.
But I think 40,000 people a year submit to Shark Tank, and then they narrow it down to about 125 people air. And all throughout that process, every week, they're like, you're doing more stuff, you're having a meeting, and they're like, okay, well, next week may be the last time we talk to you. They're narrowing things down. So, but even once you get there,
It's nerve-wracking. It's the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life.
Well,
And that's
tell me-
why I froze up. I froze up, man. Brian's like, dude, you gotta like get over there, because I had to change spots on the set. It was a disaster, but we still recovered.
Well, it's TV. It's like people want to see that too. They want it to be real. They want you guys to be real. So out of 40,000 submissions, why did you guys get picked?
The costumes,
well, I think part of it, we have
our product too.
we had a really cool product that's, obviously turkeys, Thanksgiving, 80 million turkeys are consumed just around Thanksgiving in the US. So it's a pretty big market. And like Kirk said, you submit your product and then they look at it just like anybody else. We had some sales. We were only on the market for 3-4 months, but we had sold like 11,000 units in that first 3 or 4 months before we submitted. So we had some decent sales going in a short period of time. And then once they narrowed it down, they say, make a video. Here's the kind of a framework, send it in. And, at some point, Kirk and I looked at the turbo trussers, and they're both, one's a chicken, one's a turkey. And we thought, there's full-size adult costumes for this. We should probably dress up, because we've seen people do it on Shark Tank before.
Well, exactly, because Shark Tank is TV first, business second. Is it good TV? If you're good TV, you get on. You have a good business, you have a double chance to get on.
Yeah.
So it's entertainment, it's got to be entertaining. Okay, so you get the deal,
Yep.
right? And that's pretty awesome. Congratulations on that.
After much
Thanks.
negotiation
Thank
that
you.
went nowhere. Yes, after many rounds with Kevin, and he kept saying no and no and no and no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but you got Mr. Wonderful, and he's pretty darn famous right now. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, he's talking not only about products on Shark Tank. I know he's endorsed you guys. I've seen all those clips, but he's talking about everything. I mean, the guy is busy. So
Yeah.
how often do you get to meet with him?
So,
How's
we've
that
been
work?
partners with them for 2 years now. I think post show, it's been about 2 years. And he just had, in March, he had a symposium down in Miami where he invited all of his companies that he's affiliated with to a 3-day, basically seminar or information session where, they had speakers coming in every hour presenting to us different business things. So that was really awesome. And during that time, he was present the whole time. We spent one-on-one time with them at a tiki bar for about 2 hours. There were a few drinks consumed, I think.
Is there one thing, if there's one thing about him that no one knows, Kurt, you think you told me something about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is there one thing that no one knows about him?
He's very soft-spoken. He is the most soft-spoken person you've ever met. Like when you talk to him, he's so laid back and cool. It's incredible because you see his persona on TV, but when you really meet him one-on-one, he is a very, very genuine person. He cares about small business. I mean, he really cares about, he's nonpartisan and he cares about small business. And that's what we really like about him. And I couldn't believe it. When he would talk, we would have to lean in and be like, oh, what did he just say?
I'm glad you said
I
that.
wonder if it's because he's famous and we're at the bar and he doesn't want to hear people, because he's probably used to people eavesdropping on him anytime he's talking. So
Possibly.
it could be a factor of that. But yeah, super nice guy. Like he said, really genuine. We have access to his team. They're very helpful as well. So I know he's planning every year going forward to do this symposium. So we'll at least get several days a year to interact with them. And then, if we need them, we can get to them as well.
Okay, guys, I want to jump on real quick. Great product. I use it. I use it. My wife uses it. We go on vacations. We bring it.
By the way, tell her we said hi, please.
Yes.
I will. No, she does. And because it's so simple, it works so beautifully. I'm going to show some pictures of the ones we took with it, just so you know it's a great product. Okay. It's so great that when I look at your Amazon reviews, come on. How many reviews? You almost have don't you almost have 1,000 5-star reviews?
Yeah, we're up there. We've almost got 1,000 5-star reviews. I think the only people that have some issues is they're probably just a little bit of education on how to use it. Because most people, once you figure it out, there's been a few people that haven't been able to figure it out, and we get it, but for the most part, it's pretty stinking easy to use. It's 3 pieces. And I mean, what's not to like? You throw it in the dishwasher, you reuse it again and again, and it's under $20.
How many people break it? You're not going to break it either, are you?
None, nobody.
Nobody.
Now, and the other thing about it, we get so few returns, which is beautiful, because on Amazon, it can be the Wild West with returns. You can buy something, use it for a week, and decide you don't want it and send it back with no questions asked. So especially if it's a Prime product, and we get so few returns that
We're like 1%, maybe.
yeah, probably 1% or less.
No, because I think it's priced right. It works. It's useful. Why would anybody return it? That seems ridiculous. Okay, let's jump ahead. You guys met because Kirk, you were doing some remodeling at Brian's house. That's how you guys met?
Correct.
And you were hanging around so much, you couldn't get rid of you, and you start pitching ideas to him?
Yes. He was in the middle of inventing his Kirk wrench.
All right.
And
I had prototypes. And he's like, and I showed him and he was like, oh my gosh.
I think what happened really was he would come to work for 2 days, and then you wouldn't see the contractor for 3 days. And then he'd come back again the next week, and he finally fessed up. He was working 3 jobs because he had this cool prototype he was trying to fund and get out there. And he pulls out this black case, and it's this crazy looking wrench, but it's real prototypes. It's usable. And he starts to tell me about this. I didn't know anything about inventing. And he starts telling me about the process. But the first thing he said, he bought me a copy of your book, and he said, read this book and then we'll talk.
Yeah, because he was asking me all kinds of questions. I was like, the questions will be answered in one simple idea. I bought him the book, and I was like, did you read the book? He's like, no, then stop asking me the questions. Read the book and then start asking questions.
And I read the book, but then I got the book on audio. I drive in my car a lot for my job, and I probably have listened to it 10 times.
Yeah.
Well, that's one reason why we wrote the book, because of all the questions. I think it's really smart because it's easier to say, read the book. Okay.
It's in there.
I meet you guys out at a great event. In fact, it's coming up again, actually, this August.
Up in Michigan.
Great event. Good people up there.
Send us details. Maybe we could, I don't know what we've got going on, but maybe we could come up there. And
you should reach out to those guys because they've got a great event. We met there. You guys, we had a contest. You guys got picked for it. Now, yeah, we picked the right guy.
Life-changing. It was life-changing.
Yeah, we won a free 6-month coaching with inventRight. I won, and obviously Kirk came along with me.
Paul was our coach.
That was the best 6 months for us in as far as inventing. We learned everything that we know from that point on.
Yeah, well, you guys, we could tell that was going to be a really good fit. You guys were smart, energetic, you had good ideas, you're ready to hit the road running. Not everybody's ready, but you guys were really ready. Okay, so you jump in. Now, Kurt, later you became more than just part of the education of our program. You became a coach.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I loved being a coach. It was.
Yeah, you did a great job. People still
talk
about you.
Almost 3 years. I was a coach for almost 3 years at inventRight.
And then you left us, and you broke off.
Right before Shark Tank.
People are still talking about you. It's like, you see, occasionally they still do, right? And thank you for answering some of their questions. So
I do.
Yeah, you're a big part of our program. Okay, so you do the Shark Tank, you leave inventRight. We didn't like it. We had to cry a little bit, but that's okay. You leave it, you go to Shark Tank, you kill it, you got a product, it's out there, but you're starting to develop more products.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot.
Tell me that process. Was it just like, hey, we need more store? I mean, how did you come to that?
Directors, yeah.
So after we went on Shark Tank, one of the things right after we got back, and one of the things that Kirk and we did was we reached out to a local company. It's a local nonprofit in Cleveland called Business Advisors of Cleveland. And it's retired guys and gals that want to donate their time to help startups and businesses grow and learn.
It's like SCORE.
Yeah. So we had used them before in the past. So I reached out to my guy and told him we were just on Shark Tank. We'd really like to get some help from them just to, so we didn't have to bother Kevin on some of these trivial things. They put together this team and they helped us, build out our company in the right way, like financially, get our accounting in order, all of these things. And where was I going with that?
Well, they're leading us to like, they asked us, where do we want to be?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys want to do? And we were just like, we would like to sell one of these days. He's like, you guys need more products. Yeah, like, and there's some heavy hitters on our board of directors. I mean, one of them is the largest plumbing parts manufacturer in the world. And he was like, you need more products. You guys need to come up with more stuff, because especially when you go on Amazon and you go on, order, you got to get that ticket value up.
The average order value. Yeah.
Average order value. Exactly.
Yeah. In order to advertise effectively, advertising is not cheap. It costs to bring in that customer acquisition cost. It is, if your product is $20, it's going to be very difficult to be able to effectively advertise and get a customer for under $20 and still the cost of your goods. So you have to have more. You want people to put more products in their cart when they're purchasing, whether it's in Amazon or it's on our website. So, one of the products was an easy add-on. We had the turkey, the chicken. We came out with the Cornish hen. That's pretty big market for poultry as well. And then, we have a rub and brine, and those are really complementary to cooking chickens. They're chicken rubs, chicken brine. Makes total sense to add those type of complementary products. And then the other products, we kind of sat around one day like we always did in the past. And we said, what other things that are being barbecued that there's just not a tool for that.
And there's a problem with it.
Right.
What is the problem, and like, how can it be easier?
Okay. So we came out with a new product that it's a cream cheese bladder. And it's for smoking cream cheese. And, we're on Facebook a lot, and we see people by the millions, they're smoking cream cheese. You take a $3 block of cream cheese, you cut it with the knife on the top, put some seasoning on it, smoke it at 200 degrees for 2 hours. And for $3, you've got an appetizer that is pretty incredible. Put some pepper jelly on it and get some crackers, and you've got a nice appetizer.
Yep.
And
then in the same day,
but the problem was with this, people they're putting it on a piece of foil. It's difficult to use. There's no presentation to it. This product, the platter, you can smoke it right on your grill. It has a serving knife that you can, serve the stuff and put it on your cracker. And then you can actually use the knife to lift it off of the grill, so you don't have to touch it and get your hands hot or put a glove on it. So, that was something we came up with. And then the same night have you ever done a jalapeno popper? Have you ever
They're terrible. Wait a minute. I love this product because I'll tell you, it's really hard to do jalapeno poppers without it just being a mess.
Yes.
So how have you solved that problem?
So the tradition, I wish I had the one that's on the market is just a piece of metal with a bunch of holes in it, and they stick straight up, and you got to do the whole popper. And I told Kirk, I've had this. I've never used it.
And I hate biting in the whole peppers.
I've never seen anybody use it online. Everybody cuts them in half, so it's not as messy. You cut them in half, you get half the amount of cheese in there, you wrap it in bacon. So we said, let's come up with one where you can cut them in half. It's shaped like, we made it so it's actually shaped like the jalapeno poppers. So if you see the design.
Yeah, so they just fit right in there.
So they lay right in there perfectly. There's half of them go this way and half of them go that way, because when you cut them in half, they're mirror images. So, and then this allows the smoke or the flames to come up from the below or the top.
Right. And then when we were talking about it, we're like, how much can we add to it to have a good patent or a PPA? Because we still have PPAs on all this stuff. We haven't filed patents yet, but we added the skewer rack to it. So now you can do skewers on the other side. We just put some slots. And then you can put the skewers on the other side, so it gives it more structure. So you can, it's a very simple product. It's just made out of stainless steel.
Now you guys wait a minute. Let's talk about why you're doing barbecue, because I saw some video. You guys were talking about you like doing barbecue ideas because you like to eat and you like to drink a beer while you're coming up with ideas. Could you?
Absolutely. That's it.
That is how we came up with those two ideas. We were drinking beer. We were probably around my barbecue, and we said, what else can we barbecue? What other tools could there be? And the other thing we're doing, Stephen, is, it's not just what can we come up with. We have to be able to manufacture it very easily. And with the suppliers we have, because going and finding another supplier, that's going to be a nightmare. So we looked at the capabilities of the guy that makes the turbo trusser. He's got a laser machine. He's got stamping. He can bend things. We're like, what can we make that he can make?
Yeah. Because he's an hour away.
And
Wait a minute. So everything's done in the USA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want everybody to know that.
Yeah.
That's really smart. Using the same vendor, you have a relationship. I really love the logo. Something about the logo, something about that. Talk about that. Who did that?
Actually, a guy in Denver did that years ago.
I like it.
But as far as our packaging, you know, we have
James has done all of our
James has
packaging.
done all of our packaging. He's done everything.
Yeah.
James has done all the packaging, so everything you see, that's all him.
Well, yeah. Let's give a shout out to James Sheehan for just a minute, because he never gets any. James, we're going to put a picture of you. You're going to hate it, but you're going to put it up there anyway.
Yes.
He's been with me for over 20, probably 25 years, I hate to say. He does all my work. He's a really good guy too.
He's a master.
He is a master.
Hey, so let's talk about one other person, give a shout out to. Lindsay. How is she involved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she is. Actually, she just did, we still work with her frequently. She's done some patent drawings for us. She's done, did redrew our lid that we licensed when we were students.
Okay.
The deal fell through because of COVID. Company went out of business.
Yeah.
Went out of business. So now we're going back and we got patents on it, because when we got the deal, we filed the patents. We had PPA. We got the deal. We filed patents. The patents came through. Now we have full utility. We have one utility patent.
Yep.
And she helped us recreate drawings to send to some manufacturers and we might do a Kickstarter on that. Like we've been kicking around doing a Kickstarter on the lid.
Well, James, put Lindsay's logo up here and a picture of her.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. If you need patent drawings, she does a lot of different things, but make sure you put that information. We'll give
she does CAD draw. I mean, she'll do manufacturer drawings. Her services are very good, and she's very responsive, and she
reasonably priced, very reasonable.
Yeah, and very reasonable.
Okay. All right, you guys, let's talk about, because for a lot of people that are listening, it's like, gee, you went from here to here. I mean, how many problems did you guys have along the way?
Which
which problem?
Well, first off, I mean, the turbo trusser is, I don't know how many products that we came up with before that. You know,
like five
products. We licensed 2 that both were, you know, the companies were not able to bring them to market. Those products are still around and available. But I mean, we had 5 products that we really failed on in some sense before we got to the turbo trusser.
But we do have a person that's interested in the wrench right now. They're getting prices overseas to make it. But so we're still trying to license it because, you know, we have the patents on it.
Yep.
And we have a company now we lost the license with one company, and now because it was COVID, you know, and they were trying to survive. And now we have another company so we're still trying to license products. We're venturing now, but we're still trying to license.
Yeah, we still have a licensing side of our business we're still working on.
Yeah.
So it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it is a numbers game.
Don't give up. Maybe something sits for a while, you bring it back.
Yes, you know what? There's another thing. You know, we had a product, our first product that we came up with together was called Smokestacks Pans. And we had it was stackable barbecue pans.
I remember.
And we did a Kickstarter, and they were just so hard to make. They were heavy. They were hard to clean because they weren't made of foil. And long story short, we've come up with a new way to do this same concept that we're going to launch probably in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. Again, we utilize the manufacturing capabilities of our current supplier, and we figured out a way to do it with his capabilities.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know, easier to do,
cheaper to ship. Easy to ship.
It's going to be a real cool product. You know, maybe not as mainstream as the turbo trusser, but we're just trying, like going back to that, we're trying to add products to our business to, you know, to help fund our growth, right? It's really, even with Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, it's all hard work.
Yeah.
You know, it's all hard. Licensing would be a lot easier. Let me tell you, it would be a lot easier than doing it this way. But, you know, this is where we are. You know.
Yeah, but you're building a company, you're building a brand, you're building a lot of product lines. I think whoever gave that advice to exit out, you need a whole brand, you need a whole product line to be able to do that. Let's talk about Amazon for a minute, because
Yep.
I know a lot of people think, hey, I'm going to come up with this idea and I'm going to order a minimum quantity and I'm going to sell it on Amazon. People are going to find me. How easy is it to sell on Amazon? And do you have people that help you? Tell me about that process a little bit.
Yeah, I would say that's some of the things that we failed on. You know, when we talk about pitfalls, roadblocks, things to avoid, we've used 3 different agencies to help manage our Amazon.
Yeah, we're on our
business.
3rd right now.
Yeah, we're on our 3rd agency that we used. And what they do is they run the ads for you. They'll help if there's, you know, you need to get listings on there, because it's not just go on there and drop your product on there and start selling. You can put it on there. No one's going to find it. You're going to have to drive demand to it first off. You know, you could have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows what it is, Amazon's not going to put it in front of anybody for you, especially if it's new. And then, you know, one of the things that we encountered when we first, after Shark Tank, there was counterfeiters that latched on to our Amazon account. And what they did was that they didn't even ship product. They were out of China. They would have a listing. It would show that it was cheaper. People would just go automatically think it was us, buy it, and nothing would ever come. They probably
$238,000 worth of sales. We sued them, but $238,000 worth of sales they took from us after the show. They latched onto our Amazon account. It's a very real problem. We got rid of them, thank God. However, there's still some stragglers out there that we're going after, but we actually sued them and actually got some money out of them.
And really with Amazon, patents aren't so much what they care about. Trademarks is what, if you have a
Trademarks and copyright.
And copyright will save you on Amazon. So make sure you always got, you know, you got to get surrounded, like you've said before. You got to surround yourself with the patents, the trademark. You've got to, even if it's show perceived ownership, but those are real ownership. You know, because you can go into Amazon and do brand registry, and that will help to protect you. There's things you can do to protect yourself. We didn't know that at the time. Yeah. Nobody told us about those things.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because a patent is perceived ownership, where a copyright or a trademark, you know, it's pretty direct. You know, it's hard.
Yeah, that's what Amazon cares about. Yep.
Yeah, and they have some tools to work on that. So when I'm walking away, you guys, you know, when I listen to all this, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've had your team, but you've worked with other teams through this whole process and just about everything you've done. People don't realize that. They think they're going to do it by themselves. Can you talk about that?
You can't.
We don't know internet marketing. Internet marketing is very difficult. I mean, knowing what keywords, knowing how to put the right pixel on the website so you can track the sale.
Right.
We have no idea how to do those things. I'm just we're 2 Polacks.
And Brian, yeah, exactly. And Brian's sales, I don't like, he can go out and beat the streets. He's like, goes out and just like calls 50 people, like submits our product to all these retailers. And if we need PPAs or intellectual property, it's different. You need a team. And then we got the Amazon people. Then we have our manufacturer, and they have a guy that programs the CNC machine. You need him too, because okay, this bend might not be good enough. We got to put this angle on it. No one's going to figure all that out.
No. Yeah. It really takes a village to run a company. Like we have the board of advisors.
Yeah.
There's 4 guys on that team that, you know, are very interested in helping us. You know, we meet with them about once a quarter, and they go over our profit and loss statements. The one guy's a former CFO. He's, you know, thorn in my side, but you got to have
hammer, Bill the hammer.
Yeah. I sweat when I go in there, because I know he's going to peel through the financials. And, you know, those are all the things that you don't think about when you talk about venturing. If you can license your product and have somebody else take all that risk, all of that really it's a beautiful thing when you can make it work. You know, we've done it. We've licensed 2 products. Those companies, it was their fault, not ours. We'll license again for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming on. I want to say a couple of things. You guys, great. You guys work hard. That's part of it. Thank you for being part of my world. But you guys, I have to say this. If you like the barbecue, find this product. Find the products you guys are coming out, because they're smart. They work, which I really like you guys. I like that you're building something that actually works. Because I'll tell you, you don't get 800 5-star reviews or close to 1,000 without something that's working repeatedly. And that's a big deal. And that's why you've got repeat business. It just keeps on coming back. So if you're watching this video, if you want to support your local inventor, Absolutely. And you like to barbecue? Make sure you find the Turbo Trusser on Amazon. Go to the website. They got a bunch of other stuff. You won't regret it. I use it. It's wonderful. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much. I mean, we can't say it enough. Thanks for having us. inventRight has been a pivotal part of our journey as inventors, entrepreneurs. It still is a part of our journey till this day. I mean, all of the fundamentals that we've learned from that one simple idea book, it's the yellow book. Find it. I mean, it will, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and inventor, it's a must read. But
For
you know,
sure.
that is the foundation that we've had from you and inventRight is we still use all of those principles today. When we're vetting products, when we're coming up with a new idea, we use the same principles. We're just venturing now, but you know, those same principles, I mean, they work for venturing and licensing. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, licensing sure would be a lot easier, but you know, we're here now. So
Yeah, exactly. And without inventRight, we wouldn't be where we're at.
No.
I mean, we would not be here.
not at all.
And we've had some crazy turns, but we just appreciate it. Thanks for having us on, and it's
come
always an honor
You
to
guys, come back.
talk.
Thank you for the kind words. Come back again when you've got a new product. We want to hear what's going on,
Yep.
because I'll tell you, there's always more to learn if you're going down that journey and you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to see the magic of people using your product. How does that feel when you see people sending you pictures using it? That's
It's incredible, actually. I can't believe it. Like, it's like, I can't believe somebody's using something we invented,
Well,
you know?
well, we've sold 65,000 turbo trussers, Stephen.
Yeah.
So 65,000, not people, because you know a lot of people buy two, but there's 60,000 of those things running around out there getting used on a pretty regular basis. So
Yeah.
you know, somebody makes one, they show a friend. You know, word of mouth helps out, but it's really cool just to know that they're out there.
That's awesome. Hey guys, thank you very much. We'll see you guys back at inventRight TV. Thanks for watching. We just had 7 million views, almost 80,000 subscribers. Subscribe down below. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers because we're giving away $25,000 once we hit that number. So
Hey,
everybody.
I'm going to get in on that. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.